Hi, and welcome to a real special video on my visit to beautiful Bulgaria. This trip is my first time in Bulgaria, and I knew I had to come to the amazing places I'm covering in this Bulgaria 4K video. It's a tour to a truly crazy place to see in Eastern Europe. I'm going to take you to the House of Humor in Gabrovo, a super funny museum, the Freedom Monument on Shipka Pass, a Liberation War monument on a historic place, and my absolute highlight, the Buzludzha Conference Center ruin, a crazy communist-era UFO building on top of a remote mountain. Stick around to the end of this video for some amazing drone footage in some pretty windy conditions. My first stop is the Museum of Satire and Humor in Gabrovo, and you have to check this out. It's a really fun museum. Definitely worth seeing. Let's have a look. I'm going to start my road trip to the Shipka mountain and the Bulgarian historic monuments in Eastern Europe in Gabrovo. Gabrovo is a small town with a population of about 60,000 in northern central Bulgaria, just south of Veliko Tarnovo, which I've covered in a separate video. Gabrovo is also known as the city of humor, and the people of Gabrovo are known to be very thrifty. The city's motto is "The world lasts because it loves." The town features a really unique museum, the House of Humor and Satire, which I highly recommend you check out. This quirky museum has a massive exposition and art gallery of traditional local humor art, including cartoons and caricatures, photographs, paintings, sculptures, and verbal humor on 4 floors. The international collection spans over 50,000 artifacts by over 9,000 authors from 173 countries. I've never seen anything like it and truly enjoyed wandering through the exhibitions. Make sure to also check out the interactive installations next to the museum store on the ground floor. Factor in at least 1 to 2 hours for your visit. It's well worth it. From Gabrovo, I'm taking the beautiful drive to the Shipka mountain on Shipka Peak, a mountain at the heart of the Shipka National Park. The park itself is amongst the most beautiful places in Bulgaria, and it's well worth a drive there. Right, I'm now here at the St. Nicolas monument of the 1877 war, up on the mountain. It's super windy here. Let's check it out. The Liberty Memorial is a symbol of modern Bulgaria and the liberation of Bulgaria and can be seen from far away. It was built in 1934 and houses a small exhibition on 7 floors inside. A big bronze lion, symbolizing the coat of arms of Bulgaria, the symbol of the Bulgarian state, guards the entrance to the memorial. Make sure to go all the way up, as the panoramic view from the viewing platform is stunning. From here, you can see all the way down to the plains of Kazanlak, but definitely bring a warm jacket when you come. I visited in the summer months of August during the hottest season of the year with record high temperatures in Gabrovo, and it was freezing cold up here. From the Freedom Monument on Shipka Peak, I'm continuing my road trip to yet another highlight of my trip to Bulgaria, the monumental and somewhat crazy architectural manifestation of megalomania, the Buzludzha Monument. Alright, I'm here now in Buzludzha, the communist monument that was built here on top of this mountain in 1977 by 6,000 soldiers, and they used 70,000 metric tons of concrete for this building. You can no longer enter because this thing is a ruin, but there are actually quite impressive mosaics in there, and I understand there's an initiative to revive this monument and to preserve it. Right now it's in pretty bad shape, but it's still really cool to see. Quite an historic place, and I'm glad I made it up out here. It's quite a drive. It's actually not easy to get up here. You'll either have to rent a car. There are some tours, I understand, that have this in their program, but I came by car. And it's about a 1.5 hour drive or so from Veliko Tarnovo, and definitely worth seeing. Check it out. Buzludzha is a historical peak in the Central Balkan Mountains in Bulgaria. The mountain is located to the east of the Shipka Pass near the town of Kazanlak, and it's also a site of historical importance. The peak is 1,432 meters, about 4,700 feet high, and it was the place of the final battle between Bulgarian rebels and the forces of the Ottoman Empire. A band of 30 Chetniks fought a losing battle against 700 Ottoman troops, and only 4 Bulgarians survived. And symbolic events on Buzludzha took place throughout the years into the 20th century. In 1891, the mountain was a site chosen for the first Congress of the Bulgarian Social Democratic Workers' Party, later the Bulgarian Communist Party. And in 1944, the peak was the scene of fighting between communist partisans and detachments of the Bulgarian army. To commemorate these events, the Buzludzha monument was built between 1971 and 1981. In 1974, more than 15,000 cubic meters of rock were removed with explosives to create a level foundation for building the new memorial center that looks a bit like a gigantic UFO. In total, more than 6,000 people contributed their work to the creation of the Buzludzha monument. This included engineers, artists, designers, sculptors, a large number of volunteer laborers, and 500 soldiers. New roads were built to transport massive amounts of building materials up to the mountain, including 70,000 tons of concrete, 3,000 tons of steel, and 40 tons of glass. The interior space of the monument was decorated with detailed mosaics that illustrated the history of the Bulgarian Communist Party. The construction of the tower was treated as a separate project, which in itself took 2 years to build. The tower is 70 meters, about 230 feet high, and a lift went up inside to an observation deck at the top of the monument, offering panoramic views over the Balkan Mountains. The gigantic red glass stars that flanked the north and south sides of the tower were believed to be the largest in the world, measuring a whopping 12 meters, 39 feet across. They weigh 3.5 tons each and used to be lit from the inside of the tower by a series of 32 spotlights, powered by a generator large enough to power 500 homes. Legend goes that the red stars of Buzludzha could be seen from as far away as the Romanian border in the north and the Greek border to the south. The Buzludzha Memorial House was opened in 1981 in an elaborate ceremony organized by the Communist Party of Bulgaria. It was in use throughout the 80s and served as a location for many memorial events and activities. How much did the whole thing cost? The entire Buzludzha project was publicly funded and cost an equivalent to roughly $62.5 million at today's value. After the communist government's fall from power in 1989, the site was abandoned and left open to vandalism. But the main entrance has now been sealed and a guard watches the place 24/7. A preservation team managed to get the monument listed as one of the most endangered heritage sites in Europe, and there are plans to preserve and restore the monument in the future. For now, it remains a somewhat spooky landmark that is nevertheless definitely worth seeing. It's been an absolute highlight of my trip. Check this out. So, this was yet another part of my extensive road trip through Central Bulgaria. I hope you found this Bulgaria travel video on these amazing places in Central Bulgaria helpful and provided some inspiration for your next travel in Eastern Europe. Let me know in the comments below about any additional tips that are not covered on my trip, and please also check out my other travel videos in beautiful Bulgaria, where I cover many more fantastic places in Bulgaria and of course many other amazing travel destinations. And leave me a like down below. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next travel video. Have a good one. Bye bye.